My name is Margaret Campbell, and what I'm about to share could save you nearly $5,000 this year. A senior in Calgary recently saw her monthly government payments slashed by $400, not because of a change in the law, but because of a single, devastatingly common mistake on a tax form. This isn't a complex scam. It's a quiet catastrophe happening in households across Canada, where one unchecked box or a mislabeled number triggers an automated clawback of benefits you're legally entitled to. The system won't call you to fix it. It simply reduces your income, month after month, leaving you to wonder what went wrong. For many on a fixed income, a loss of over $4,800 a year isn't an inconvenience, it's a crisis. The question isn't just how this happened to her, it's whether it's happening to you right now without you even knowing it. This is precisely why I'm here. For years, I've watched as the very systems designed to support our seniors, like CPP, OAS, and GIS, become a tangled web of bureaucratic fine print that silently drains the financial security of hardworking Canadians. The government operates on rules, not on compassion. It assumes you are a tax expert, and if you make an error, the consequences are yours to bear alone. My mission is to be your shield against that indifference. In this video, we're not just going to talk about the problem, we are going to arm you with the solution. I will walk you through the exact mistake that caused this financial disaster, show you how to check your own documents for this hidden error, and give you the clear, practical steps to protect every dollar you've earned. Your peace of mind is not for sale, and you shouldn't have to fight for it alone. For more than 20 years, my entire professional life has been dedicated to one single focus: helping Canadian seniors navigate the complex and often unforgiving world of government benefits and retirement finance. I'm not a government employee, I'm your advocate. I've seen firsthand the stress and confusion that forms from the CRA, letters from Service Canada, and the dense language of programs like CPP, OAS, and GIS can cause. I've sat with countless individuals who, through no fault of their own, were on the verge of losing thousands of dollars simply because the system is not designed to be user-friendly. It is a passive machine. It will process what you submit, correctly or incorrectly, and it will not call you to ask if you truly understood the implications of that one checkbox. My job is to be the expert the system assumes you are, to stand in that gap and protect your financial well-being. That's the core mission of this channel, to translate the bureaucratic noise into a clear signal. The government expects you to be an expert on the Income Tax Act, to understand the subtle differences between various types of income, and to know which forms to file to claim provisions you may never have heard of. Nobody teaches you these rules in school, and they certainly don't provide a handbook when you retire. That is where we come in. We are here to arm you with the specific knowledge you need to claim every single dollar you are rightfully owed. This isn't about finding loopholes, it's about understanding your rights. Think of this as your personal briefing, a guide to ensuring the financial security you worked your entire life to build is protected from the silent erosion of bureaucratic complexity. To turn that mission into action, we're going to follow a clear and simple map today. I'm going to walk you through 3 crucial pieces of information that can protect your retirement income. First, we will dissect the exact tax form mistake that cost a Calgary senior over $4,800 a year, and I'll show you precisely how to make sure it never happens to you. Second, we'll uncover a quieter but potentially more costly issue: the child rearing provision. Millions of Canadians, primarily mothers, are receiving a lower CPP pension than they've earned, and I'll explain how you can fix this historical oversight. Finally, and most importantly, I will give you the official playbook to fight back. We'll go step by step through the formal request for reconsideration, the process that forces the government to correct its mistakes and return your money. This isn't just abstract information, it's your financial shield. Before we dive into the first critical point, I want you to do one small thing that provides a major defense. Take a moment to subscribe to this channel and click that notification bell. The rules around these benefits are not static. Forms change and interpretations are updated. Missing a single update could mean missing out on thousands of dollars you're entitled to. Subscribing is your first proactive step to ensure you never fall behind and that you always have a guardian watching out for your financial interests. Now, let's get started with that first devastating error. Let's break down exactly what happened to that senior in Calgary, because her story is a critical warning for all of us. When her husband passed away, she received the one-time, lump sum CPP death benefit, which is currently a maximum of $2,500. This is not pension income. It is a specific, single payment designed to help with funeral costs. When tax time came, that $2,500 was entered on her T1 general tax return, but it was placed on the wrong line. It was reported as if it were regular, ongoing income, like a private pension. To the automated systems at the CRA and Service Canada, this made it look as though her annual income had suddenly and permanently increased. It's a simple clerical error, easily made by someone unfamiliar with the nuances of the tax code, but the consequences were devastating. The system doesn't ask questions. It just follows the numbers it's given, triggering a chain reaction that can cost you thousands. The immediate result of this misreported income was a severe reduction in her Guaranteed Income Supplement, or GIS. The GIS is an essential top-up for low-income seniors, and its value is calculated based on your net income from the previous year. For every $2 of other income you report, excluding your old age security pension, your GIS is reduced by $1. By incorrectly reporting the $2,500 death benefit as regular income, her calculated annual income was artificially inflated. The system saw this and automatically clawed back her GIS payments by approximately $400 every single month, leading to a loss of nearly $5,000 over the course of the year. The tragedy here is how avoidable it was. That money wasn't hidden. It was just mislabeled on a form. It's a perfect example of how the system's complexity becomes a trap, and a single mistake can lead to a significant and prolonged financial hardship. So, how do you protect yourself from this exact trap? The action step is clear and immediate. If you have received a CPP death benefit, it will be reported in Box 18 of your T4A-P tax slip. You must ensure this amount is reported correctly on your T1 tax return. It is a lump sum payment and must be declared as such, not commingled with regular pension or other income lines that affect your GIS calculation. Go back and look at your notice of assessment from the year you received that benefit. If you see a sudden, unexplained drop in your GIS, this could be the reason. The onus is on you to spot the error and request a reassessment. This mistake is a sudden financial shock, but there's another, even more widespread issue that has been silently chipping away at the pensions of millions of Canadians for decades, without them even knowing it. It's a quiet drain on your retirement, and I'll show you what it is next. Now we turn to that quiet drain, a hidden reef that has been undercutting the retirement income of millions of Canadians for decades, the Child Rearing Provision, or CRP. This is a crucial rule within the Canada Pension Plan that allows you to exclude years of low or zero earnings from your pension calculation while you were staying home or working reduced hours to care for a child under the age of 7. For decades, applying for this provision was not automatic. Millions of Canadians, primarily mothers, who left the workforce in the 1970s, 80s, and 90s, were never told about it and never had these low-income years dropped from their record. The system is passive. It did not, and will not, proactively search for eligible parents. It is waiting for you to raise your hand and point out the missing information from 30 years ago. The financial consequence of this oversight is not a sudden shock, but a slow, continuous bleed. Your CPP pension is calculated based on your average lifetime earnings. Every year of zero earnings that remains on your record drags that average down, resulting in a permanently lower monthly pension payment for the rest of your life. Consider someone like Anne from Winnipeg, who took 5 years off in the 1980s to raise her 2 children. If those 5 zero-income years were included in her pension calculation, Her monthly CPP check could be reduced by $50, $100, or even more every single month. Over a 20-year retirement, that amounts to tens of thousands of dollars in lost income, money she rightfully earned under the rules of the plan, but is not receiving because of a historical information gap. This isn't a benefit, it's a correction to your earnings record that you must demand. This is where your proactivity becomes your most powerful financial tool. The solution is to formally apply for the child-rearing provision, even decades after the fact. You must complete Form ISP 1640 from Service Canada and provide proof of your children's birth, such as a birth certificate. This action forces the government to recalculate your entire CPP entitlement, removing those low-earning years and adjusting your pension payments going forward, and in some cases, providing a retroactive lump sum payment. It is a perfect illustration of how you must be the active guardian of your own finances, because the system will not do it for you. But simply identifying these errors, whether it's a GIS clawback or missing CRP credits, is only the first step. The next critical piece is knowing how to formally challenge the government's decision and get your money back. That brings us to your most powerful weapon, the request for reconsideration. This brings us to your most powerful tool in this fight, the request for reconsideration. This is not the same as calling the General Service Canada helpline and hoping you get a sympathetic agent. This is a formal, legal process that compels the government to conduct a full review of a decision regarding your CPP, OAS, or GIS benefits. When you submit this request in writing, you are creating an official record. It elevates your case from a simple query to a formal appeal, forcing a senior review officer, not a frontline agent, to examine your file and the evidence you provide. Whether it's to correct a GIS clawback due to a misreported death benefit, or to apply the child-rearing provision retroactively, this is your official channel to demand what is rightfully yours. It is your shield against administrative errors and the inertia of a passive system, turning your vulnerability into leverage by forcing the bureaucracy to be accountable. Let's make this tangible. Imagine two seniors, both of whom realize they never had the child-rearing provision applied for the years they stayed home with their children in the 1980s. The first senior, overwhelmed by the process, simply lets it go. For the rest of her life, her CPP pension remains permanently lower than it should be, a loss of thousands of dollars, leaving her with less financial independence in her later years. The second senior takes action. She completes the ISP 1640 form and submits it with a formal request for reconsideration. Service Canada is now obligated to review her case, drop those zero-income years from her record, and recalculate her pension. This simple act could increase her monthly payments for life and might even result in a retroactive lump sum payment. She has moved from being a passive victim of the system to an active agent in her own financial security, all because she used the correct tool. So, here is your immediate practical step to prepare for this process. The power of a request for reconsideration lies in the evidence you provide. Before you write a single word of your request letter, become your own archivist. Gather every relevant document: your Notice of Assessment showing the GIS clawback, the T4A-P slip showing the death benefit, the birth certificates for your children, any letters you've received from Service Canada or the CRA. Organize them chronologically in a dedicated file. Make copies of everything. When you present your case with clear, undeniable proof, you make it almost impossible for them to say no. Your actionable tip for today is to find your most recent CPP Statement of Contributions and your latest Notice of Assessment. These two documents are the starting point for uncovering any errors and are the foundation of a successful appeal. Let's bring this all together. We have seen how a single, simple tax form mistake can cost you thousands in guaranteed income supplement payments. We have uncovered how decades-old gaps in applying the child-rearing provision could be silently suppressing the CPP pension you rightfully earned. And most importantly, we have revealed the official government tool to fight back and reclaim your money. the formal request for reconsideration. The most critical lesson today is this: the system is not self-correcting. It is built on the assumption that you are the expert on your own life and your own entitlements. You must be your own financial guardian. Do not wait for a letter that will never come. Review your notice of assessment. Scrutinize your CPP statement of contributions. Question everything. You have worked your entire life, paid your taxes, and played by the rules. Now is not the time to let bureaucratic inertia rob you of the security you deserve. Your peace of mind is at stake. This is why this work is so important. To help this critical information reach more seniors who need it, your neighbors, your friends, and members of your family, please take a moment to like this video and, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. You're not just helping an algorithm, you are becoming part of a community shield, helping protect others from a costly and stressful mistake. My commitment is to continue being your advocate, to keep watch over the changes in the system, and to ensure you always have the knowledge you need to protect your financial legacy. Thank you for watching. Stay vigilant and stay secure.